first commandments
in 5 minutes.
the Ten Commandments in the original Hebrew means the Ten Statements.
What is the first of the Ten Commandments?
So let's start with the first statement.
I am the Lord your God, who took you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
I am the Lord your God. You shall not have other God beside me.
This statement is so important that without it, the other statements are without sense.
God is giving these commandments, not Moses and not any other human being. Second, God is the one who delivered you from slavery. Again, no human being did this, not even Moses. Therefore, you have an obligation to me, God.
What is that obligation? That is to live by the other 9 commandments.
So here are the most frequently asked questions about the first commandment. So what are we commanded of the first commandment?
By the first commandment, we are commanded to offer to God alone the supreme worship that is due to him. It is written, "The Lord thy God shall thou worship, and him only shall thou serve." Luke chapter 4, verse 8.
How do we worship God?
We worship God by acts of faith, hope, and charity, and by adoring Him and praying to Him.
How does a Catholic sin against faith?
A Catholic sins against faith by apostasy, heresy, indifferentism, and by taking part in non-Catholic worship.
When does a person sin by superstition?
A person sins by superstition when he attributes to creature a power that belongs to God alone, as when he makes use of charms or spells, believes in dreams or fortune-telling, or goes to spiritists. Deuteronomy chapter 19 verse 10 to 11. Neither let there be found among you anyone that consulteth soothsayers or observeth dreams and omens. Neither let there be any wizard nor charmer.
What does faith oblige us to do? Faith obliges us first to make efforts to find out what God has revealed. Second, to believe firmly what God has revealed. Third, to profess our faith openly whenever necessary. What does hope oblige us to do? Hope obliges us to trust firmly that God will give us eternal life and the means to obtain it. What does charity oblige us to do? Charity obliges us to love God above all things because He is infinitely good, and to love our neighbor as ourselves for the love of God. Why does a Catholic sin against faith by taking part in non-Catholic worship? A Catholic sins against faith by taking part in non-Catholic worship when he intends to identify himself with a religion he knows is defective. What are the sins against hope? The sins against hope are presumption and despair. What are the chief sins against charity? The chief sins against charity are hatred of God and of our neighbor, envy, sloth, and scandal. It is impressive to create the world, but what most matters is not only that there was a creator, but that the creator cares about his creation. All of that is in the one statement with which the Ten Commandments begin.